What is going on, guys? Thompson87 here, and today I'm bringing you the AOR highlights of my Hungary race, the Hungary Grand Prix. And a few things there before I get into my version of the race. Go check out the Apex Online Racing channel. You get to see all the streams of every AOR Oceania race that we do, and of course every other league race that goes on in the AOR league itself. Like, you got the European leagues, of course, you got PS4, you got Xbox One side of it. No, we're on Xbox One. We've got PC side of things. I'm already looking up this intro, but you know, go check them out. Go watch my streams back as well, because there's a lot of highlights that even I can't include in this video, which are on that stream, and you'll miss a lot of the racing with like the front runners and stuff. So go check that out. But we qualified P11 on the grid, and we actually modified us up for more rain conditions. And my version of doing that is actually lowering the ballast. I usually lower it to about 8, and I usually find that helps me a lot in the rain conditions. In SRL Austria, it was raining there, and I felt like I was pretty stable with the back end. Same with Silverstone when it was damp as well in AOR. SRL, by the way, will probably be out in the next few days, so look forward to that. So a bit of backstory as well. I was really tired. I only had 3 hours sleep going into this race. Not much practice in the heavy wet conditions. Let's see how I'll do. So, lights out and away we go, and it's actually a fairly decent start alongside Death Bro, and we get the jump in straight to the points in P10. We've got a little bit of touchy carnage ahead, front wings full of end plates flying all over the place, and we have a nice lovely gap down the left hand side of the track, braking very nicely with turn 1. We've got Acho getting a little bit squeamish ahead as he sort of blocks our progress there a little bit. There's nothing that bad. Now to P8, we've got Greek braking very early to turn 2. He sort of brake checked Dropbear there, and actually we got off the inside of both of them as Greek struggling around the outside. It's got to be said, he's a very quick driver, but just he doesn't do any practice in the wet. So Greek, going forward, do some wet practice because he needs some, mate. So going for turn 4 now. Acho runs wide, and he's actually lost quite a bit of front wing with a collision with Timo Marek. We're going to have a replay of that in a second. But he's looking very vulnerable now. Going to the chicane, he brakes very early, and we're looking for a cheeky look up the inside into the chicane. A bit of a forceful overtake. I've got to be honest, that was a bit clumsy of me. I just sort of skipped over the curb and sort of whacked into Acho's side. I think if he hadn't got front wing damage, he would have been a bit unhappy with that. But that's P11 up to P5 by turn 6 or 7, whatever it is. That's an insane start, probably my best start so far in league racing even. Especially considering the conditions. No one's DNF'd in front of me. Sure, there was a bit of contact, a bit of front wing flying all over the place, but nonetheless, that was a pretty good and clean start. So I got full front wing. And like Timo Marek, who actually has a bit of damage, I believe, and like Acho, who are both continue on, by the way. And actually, I think Acho might have gone to the pits into that lap, which is a bit unfortunate for him. He qualified up in P4. But Ben's carried on. I think Jetson might even have a bit of front wing damage as well. I'm not quite sure. I never saw his POV, so I'm honestly not sure. But as you can see, Ben's on the intermediate tyres, but the conditions are still favouring the wet. And he's struggling quite a bit. Not just with the front wing, but also with the tyre situation. Now, the actual race strategy graphic, it said there was going to be like 2 clicks of heavy rain, and I interpreted that to be like sort of like lap 10, because I was thinking about going on the intermediate tyres during the start of the race, but I thought I'd play it safe, start on the wet, and anyone who does go on the inters, they'll be really slow. So let's see if it actually works out for us. So we're on the back of Timo Marek, but we lose it into the grass, and that's such a silly mistake from me there. That was so clumsy. Just trying to get better traction, maybe thinking about moving the inside of Timo Marek there, and we just lose it. It just looks like the silliest thing in the world, but it's a costly position to Jetson. Now, this is on board Acho at the start of the race, and he's got a really good start on the west, but Ben's just cut across him. He had no grip on his intermediate tyres, and I can see Greek just squeezing Dropbear off into the grass on the right-hand side as well. So Acho really in the wars, and a little bit of contact as well. That's me behind him, and now Greek's got a really poor exit, and Acho's got back into P5, but with massive damage. And now we're going to have a look with the stream highlights, and as you can see, the Mercedes there just swerving across the Acho. He actually got damage. Ben got his damage from the actual hitting the pit wall, so an unforced error there. Lack of grip for the intermediate tyres at the start of that race, and Greek there really struggling for traction as Acho goes back past him. But the top three already streaming away. I believe the only one on wet tyres out of them lot is New Zealand Ryan. I believe Berserk and Warden are on the inters as well. So they're going to get away with probably one less stop today, as everyone else behind is on wet tyres. So it'd be interesting to see if the wet tyre people can actually make a move through the people on intermediates before the actual weather conditions change. And as you can see, Jetson's all over the back of Ben, but we make another unforced error, sliding off the track through the Bulldogs corner. And it's got to be said that I had a lot of issues through that corner during this race. I just kept locking up. It's just plain and simple. I just had a lot of issues, just a lack of grip. Yeah, just was really plaguing me. But I think during the race I actually got it sorted out. Just in the wet conditions, I just affected me a bit too much. But as you can see now, Jared's all over the back of TM Marduk, looking for a move, as Jared has so much more pace, probably has a full front wing as well, as it goes side by side through the exit of turn 2, and we're right behind, ready to pick up any pieces if there's any contact or any spin or anything like that. But Jared took him behind for now, but Ben slid wide with that understeer and the lack of grip on his intermediate tires. He's still got the inside line for turn 3. Jared goes out wide, we go past him, as he rejoins the track, nearly hitting the side of us, but we've got the racing line into turn 4, we get in the curve slightly, and we hit the back of Ben, who goes really slow through there, and Jared's got back past us. And there's a little bit of position exchange there, as I just overestimated the speed that Tim Amada can carry through there with his wing damage and his tyre situation, and just hit the back of him. Luckily didn't get any damage himself, but it allowed Jared to get a good run on us and get back past. But now at the end of lap 4, Ben's actually pulled a bit of a gap, and Jared's really struggling on his wet tyres, and we're keeping right with him. Chimchar, by the way, is not far behind either, and I believe behind him is my teammate Neon Trudeau. We've got good straight line speed on the back of the Torosso, and he brakes really early, so we're going to look for down the inside. We hit the apex quite nicely, but he's still on the outside there. We're running side by side down the road to turn 2. A little bit of contact there at high speed, but we both get away with it. I think I backed out the throttle after that contact, and I'm trying to hold it around his outside on turn 2. But I don't quite have the confidence on the throttle, and Jared is just about ahead of us to keep the position, and we're back down into P7. So very interesting couple of laps. But we're starting to struggle now on these wet tyres. Jared runs a little bit wide, we follow suit, and Chimchar actually gets the best run out of all of us, coming out of that. And a little bit of oversteer from me, and we're nearly swiping to the path of Chimchar there, as though we hold it round the outside of the chicane. Apologies to Chimchar, I just sort of lost it on the curb on the left hand side, and it's very lucky that we both didn't spin out there. That could have ended in real big disaster. But we carried on to fight another day, and now going to the pit lane at the end of lap 5 to get rid of these wet tyres and go into a set of intermediates. So it's got to be said, the strategy wet tyres was actually a real big mistake. It's better to start on the intermediates. And to be honest, I probably would have done that if I decided like to the rear of the field. But because I was mid-pack and I wanted the grip, I didn't want to cause the incidents into turn 1. I started on the inters and just have to live with it, unfortunately. But currently on our track now behind Jared and ahead of Chimchar. Neon Trudeau, my teammate, continued for another lap because he didn't want to stack behind me. And there's several other people who are yet to pit off their wet tyres as well. So track position wise, we've got about, I think we're in about P6, P7 behind Jared and I think Jetson still is Ben obviously starting on the inters. We'll probably be continuing until lap, well whenever it gets dry pretty much the track. But now everyone else stopped for their wet tyres. Jetson's only just in front of us actually, and Jared's just in front of him. Neon Trudeau actually falls behind Chimchar as well. So let's see if we can keep behind them and keep my P7 position. I believe someone else hasn't pitted either. I believe Atcho might be trying to stay on the wet tyres. Actually, I think he's behind us. I think someone else is out there. But now P7, we've got Chimchar right behind us, and he's really put on the pressure. It's got to be said, my pace on the intermediate tyres wasn't great for whatever reason. I just wasn't really feeling the conditions. And this is some stream footage. As you can see, he's right on the back of us, and we're not pulling away at all. So, not quite sure why. I felt like my pace on the wets a bit better. When I wasn't making mistakes, obviously. And he's still all over the back of my Force India, and we get caught out a little bit behind that disconnected car. I believe the McLaren of Funk Guru. I'm not sure what happened to him in this race, but that gave Chimchar a great run through that corner, and he looked to the outside. There's no way past that. I covered that off. I gave him no room, and he wasn't full alongside anyway, but it was a good attempt by him, and now going for the final 2 corners, we're going to be pretty vulnerable. As a red ball is all over my back end, but we nail the 2 corners pretty nicely. And it's going to be Chimchar actually runs quite right through the final corner, and Neon Tree Dome is going to be all over the back of him. Using Rich Punks probably, and probably looking for a move down the inside of turn 1. Chimchar defends though, but Neon sells on the dummy and goes on the inside anyway. And it's a good little battle between the Red Bull and the Force Sydney, my teammate, and Chimchar. We were all in a party together at the time, it's got to be said. Neon looks for a move down the inside of turn 2, but a little bit of contact with the side of Chimchar and forced him off the track. Neon actually waits to let Chimchar go back through. This is great for me, as I just pulled away at this point, and they kept battling for several more laps after that, and we had like a 3-4 second gap. But now the track is drying out. My tyres were slowly dying as well. We only just sort of made it to the dry transition period. But now we're going to the pits now for a set of soft tyres. It's a sensible strategy really. You can make it to the end on supers, but it's a little bit risky, and you might as well just do it on soft tyres. But we brake really early there for the pit lane entrance, and that actually allows Chimchar to gain a couple of seconds on us there, as we lost, what, at least a second easily. Neon Tree Dome, by the way, actually pitted a lap earlier, so we might actually get the jump on us, as the track was only just ready that previous lap. So let's see if he can get the jump on us. Jared, by the way, actually pitted a few laps earlier. Berserk also did the same thing from the lead, and he's lost it now. I believe he's now running down to P3. But Neon is just about behind us. Jared's about 5 seconds at the road on supers, but Neon's also on supers as well. So it's going to be very difficult to keep behind for the next few laps, as his tyres are going to have much more pace. Well, it's got to be said, something about this game, when you put on the harder tyres, you actually have way more grip in slippery conditions than the supers. I have no idea why. If someone could explain why the tyres do that in this game, then please leave in the comment section below, because I still don't fully understand it. But this is the closest that Neon's got so far on lap 23, and he's got DRS. I defended the inside there. Don't really need to, but I wanted to cover up any sort of dive bomb attempt, as Neon is very close behind me. Hungary is a very hard track to overtake when you're both at a similar pace, and I felt pretty good on these soft tyres, it's got to be said. We even go purple in the first sector, even though the track's fully dried up. But also, this is Jared, who's actually spun off the track ahead. He leaves little room on the outside of the chicane, a little bit of contact to hold it round his outside, as he must have made a big mistake, but he's trying to look at the inside of the first left-hander into this double S section, and a little bit of contact as we leave no room on the outside there. But we get the position ahead of Jared. I believe he made an error. He might have spun on that exit curb at turn 5. That's very easy to do. I've done the same thing in practice races myself before. But now that's left him really vulnerable to Neon Tree Dome, my teammate behind. And Jared defends the inside there, so no way past for Neon Tree Dome this time. There's a little bit of a graphical glitch, which shows Neon at intermediate tyres when he was clearly on supers. But it's going to be very hard to keep both Jared and Neon behind for the remaining few laps. And Neon goes to move down the inside of Jared, and that was never going to work, unfortunately, teammate. I told him on the party chat to just go for it, but I didn't mean like that. I meant sort of like a move into turn 1, where you can pull off a diving manoeuvre, but not, yeah, turn 2 really isn't a corner you can actually make a diving manoeuvre, unfortunately, for Neon. And he's now fallen behind Chimchar as well. But Jared actually made a pit stop at the end of the lap. After we got past him, he never really challenged me. In fact, he fell a little bit behind. And I don't think his tyres were able to last to the end of the race. And I believe he pitted for the super soft tyres. Actually, no, it's the... No, I think it is the super soft tyres. Or maybe the softs, I'm not quite sure. But these two had a great battle for the final few laps. And Jared actually runs a smidgen wide through turn 4. And he's been disqualified from the race. Too many corner cuts, too many track ascents from Jared there, and he's been disqualified. I believe he had like 15 seconds worth plus a pit lane speeding penalty, I believe. Myself, I only have one penalty for this race. We kept it pretty clean. We're going to cruise home to P6, so well ahead of Chimchar. We got him covered in the dry conditions. Gotta be said, I felt really good at the end of this race. I felt like I could push more if I wanted to, but I just wanted to cruise home. There's no way I was going to catch Jetson. P6 it is. We've swerved across the line, and that's a good result. A good result. I will definitely take that. The match is my best this season so far. I believe the other one was Spain in the wet conditions. Neon Tree Dome comes home for P8 after a recovery from the spin. Chimchar P7. The winner for this race is Warden 99. Zero Ryan comes second. Berserk third. Ben fourth. Jetson 5th, myself 6th, Chimchar, then Neon, then Acho, I believe, And Fevolution actually picks up his first point of the season, making the most of Jared's disqualification, so good on him. But yeah, a good solid drive. I felt in the dry I had a bit better pace. The wet was a bit so-so. My start was awesome, kept it clean. There's a little bit of carnage ahead thanks to Team at Marduk, but yeah, I felt like we did pretty good. P6 was probably best I could do. I probably could be close to Jetson if I really pushed, especially if I ironed out those mistakes at the start of the race. But yeah, P6 is the maximum I probably could have got today, so I'm happy with that. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. We're now going to have a look at the standings. We're actually level with Dropbear. So Dropbear actually had a really good start to the season. Obviously, he had that really good race in Bahrain. But unfortunately, in this one, he's just been a bit unlucky. He got sandwiched off by Greek at the start, and I believe he spun, maybe, in the wetter conditions. I'm not quite sure, but it's P11, unfortunately, for him. And we actually leveled on points. Only 4 behind Neon as well. Similar story about with Neon. He's had a very good start to the season. But he's dropped off for the past few races for a few unlucky errors, and we've actually been ahead of him for the past couple of races now, so let's hope we can continue that form and stay ahead of my teammate. Although shout out to Neon for making the thumbnails for these videos. Hope you guys enjoyed. So me and Neon, we're doing good for Force India and the championship. We're actually not far off Red Bull as well, so hopefully us and Red Bull can have a bit of battle in the constructors to the end of the season. But hope you guys enjoyed. As I said before, check out the stream footage, as you always get the full big picture of the race in that stream. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. The next race is Spa, which is one of my absolute favourites, so I hope I'll do well there. So, I'll see you guys then for my next video, whatever it may be. See you guys then. Bombs out.